Today's show is brought to you by visitlauderdale.com.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Luby, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Buongiorno and happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to another special remote Visit Lauderdale edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox with Neki Mohan.
Hello.
From Visit Lauderdale. And boy, I am really stoked today because today, as part of the Everyone Under the Sun, every dish under the sun, every flavor under the sun, we are at Il Paesano Italian Market and Restaurant in beautiful Fort Lauderdale on East Oakland Park Boulevard.
It's kind of like on the border, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of, it's just east of Federal, on your way to the beach, on your way back from the beach. And this little strip, it has all kinds of good stuff. But if you walk in here, you really find the good stuff because it's, it's like a little bit of everything. You could go find some of these specialty Italian products. They have a lovely wine room in the back.
It's awesome. Like sometimes you go to a restaurant and you go, wow, I really like to make that. Where do I buy all this stuff? You can do that here.
Yes.
You can say, hey, how do you make that? And they go, oh, well, go right over here. And we got it for you. Wrap it up. Ready to go.
Yeah. It's like one of the reasons why I love places like this. And one of the reasons why we love Greater Fort Lauderdale is because we have this whole great polyglot of people from everywhere doing these special things and delicious things. And Paolo and Virgilio. There are a couple that they're actually from South Africa.
Wow.
And when we have Paula on here, that she has the lovely South African accent.
But she's Italian.
But she is of Italian heritage. Mm-hmm. And Virgilio is from Portuguese descent. So they have different nights here, different tastings. I came in here a few weeks ago. It was my first experience here. It was quite lovely. It was a Portuguese dinner night, and he made rabbit. He had these special sausages. It was absolutely delightful meal.
That's amazing.
And then sometimes they do a South African night. But what they're really famous for is once a month or sometimes twice a month, they do their big pasta cheese wheel. And I already booked my reservation.
I'm sure you did.
The next one is August 31st, a week from Wednesday.
And one thing I like about authentic pasta, because in this anti-carb world, a lot of people move you away from pasta. But when you eat really good pasta, it feels amazing.
There is no calories or carbs or anything associated. When food goes right to the pleasure centers of the brain, when it's all endorphins, it actually burns up all the carbs. This is my unproven and completely false scientific theory. Oh my gosh. Well, Paula's already bringing it.
Yeah, bring it on.
She's
Don't
already
be shy.
she's well aware of the ways of the lunchbox, and she knows that it's sandwich month, and I'm going completely sandwich crazy, Nikki.
Oh wow!
Have you been keeping count? Because we're on the 25th day of August.
Yes.
Do you know
you've eaten 20? You've eaten 26 sandwiches.
No, I've eaten 36 sandwiches.
Oh my goodness!
I've gone way over the top of needing to do 31 in 31 days, and I'm like I've become like, I don't know whether it's McGuire, Sosa. I just want to keep smashing sandwiches. Right out of the park. And so Paulo was nice enough to say, oh, yeah, we have a whole panini sandwich board here. So I've got one of them is the Italia I got right here, which is the prosciutto di Parma with the fresh, the mozzarella cheese, the tomato, lovely, some olive oil. And then this one in honor of Jeff Tifo DeForest, who's not here, but he loves a good tuna sandwich. And the Italian tuna is something really special.
Yes,
so we've got the Tonino sandwich, which is the Italian tuna with a little bit of greens, arugula, some olive oil. I think they put some onions on it. I don't know how you feel about tuna fish, but
I love tuna fish.
Well, good, because we're gonna
and that looks like
chow
good
down.
Tuna fish.
And I know that you usually arrive hungry, Neki.
Oh yeah.
But before we dig into the sandwiches,
I try not to pregame today. I always come in, but I don't want to be hangry, so I did have a shake.
Good. Okay. Well, yeah. Nobody likes hangry, but we also need to always bring our appetites whenever we're doing these tremendous remotes, and I know they're getting ready to kind of load us up with some food. And it's nice to see there's a bit of a lunch crowd that have come in here, and this place is neat because it's kind of like a little bit of a marketplace, a little bit of a wine shop, but then you have a sit-down, lovely meal. They have lunch and dinner. And, people come in, they get their lunch paninis, a little sandwich. They could get they have pasta. I'm drinking the delicious cappuccino that Virgilio
so good.
brewed.
You can take me up before you take me down.
And this was like for people who go to Italy, they know, you can't really, it's not allowed to order a cappuccino after noon. And I ordered it and started drinking it before noon. And then afternoon comes the vino.
Wine.
So, and because they're South African, I figured, we're having a bunch of Italian food for lunch, but Paolo was nice enough to pick out a lovely South African blend. I don't even know what it's called. It looks like a Lucia 51. No, Jasoma Conclusion. It's a blend. It's a red blend from South Africa. And I'm going to say cheers and Centani. And I don't know, what's the toast in South African? What do you say in South Africa? Not cheers. Okay.
Cheers.
That makes it easy. Look at her. She's bringing out
Don't
blocks of
overthink
cheese.
it. Don't overthink it, Mayo. Don't overthink it.
That's delicious. All right. Well, here we are. We are on the Lunchbox. And we're joined right now by Paolo, the one of the proprietors and chefs here at Il Paesano. At what's the address again? The
2645 East Oakland Park Boulevard.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for having us out.
It's a pleasure.
How long have you been here?
Living in America 9 years, and in the store 7.
Wow.
We're actually really excited because on Monday we're going to become American citizens.
Oh, wow. I did not know this.
Yes.
That is
I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps.
I got to tell you.
So, and we're coming, okay, I don't hate to be preachy, but we're coming off of election day, and so few people vote. And here you have Paola, who's proud to be here.
Yes.
And proud to becoming an American citizen. What does that mean to you?
We've really gone through loops to get here. I guess America's a dream for everybody. For us, it was kind of the next phase with the crime and the political situation in South Africa. We kind of just had to come. It wasn't safe for our kids and our family, and America made it difficult for us to get here. But I'm very glad that we're here, and I wouldn't change it for anything else.
It's a big deal to be American. I don't think people know how fortunate we are and the opportunities we have here.
Absolutely. I honestly believe that the majority of the Americans don't realize how lucky they are to be living in America.
So I don't know if you realize, but Neki used to be a news anchor on the ABC affiliate, Channel 10. I used to be a news columnist for the Sun Sentinel. My favorite thing in all of everything to cover were the naturalization citizenship ceremonies. I've done a couple, one at the federal courthouse here. It is so emotional.
It is.
And to see all those people from all over the world, the last one I went to, and it was kind of right after, there's a lot of anti-immigrant sentiment sometimes, but these are people who come and do it the right way and go through all the proper channels.
And there are a lot of loops, and it gets harder
just
every
to
time.
pass that test.
Oh, don't even talk to me about the test.
98% of Americans would flunk that.
Yeah, so I was just about to
test.
say most people raised here would flunk that test, and I'm a little, I've spoken at those events because I'm a first generation American. My parents were from the Caribbean, and I talked about how coming to America changed just the trajectory of our lives and for our family.
Absolutely.
And I don't think most people realize, when you think of becoming a citizen and the opportunities it'll give to your children, what does that mean to you?
Well, I think my children for the first 4 or 5 years were really angry that we left, because we left all our family behind.
Yes.
So it's just my husband, myself, and the 2 girls. And they were angry at us. And I think in 6th grade, my oldest came home the one day. I get so emotional. I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, she came home and she said, "Mommy, thank you so much for coming to America." And it breaks my heart that we had to leave home, because that was our home.
Yes.
But this has now become our home, and she was grateful for the things that we have given her, and they both know that we work really hard
Yes.
at surviving in a new country, and
Yes.
it's difficult on different levels. It's difficult to make friends. They have fitted in perfectly. My oldest won't change her accent. She's like, Mom, they got to understand me. And she says to me, and now she's 18, she says to me, now the boys think I'm cool.
Yeah.
So
That's all you need.
So I don't want to hear that. And definitely not my husband want to hear that. Believe me. He's like, this is my girl. I don't think that you need to come to our house.
Well, this is so beautiful. I just, and I love, well, thank you for coming. I'm glad that you're here for sure.
Now.
And
we're going to drink.
Cheers. We're going to
your
say
family.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know Portuguese. That's the one language I don't know how to even say.
I guess parabéns would be a good thing.
Parabéns?
Which is,
Okay.
parabéns.
Okay.
Parabéns.
No. Parabéns. Cheers.
I'm so honored to be with you ahead of this
Where
big
is your
day.
ceremony? Is it at the federal courthouse or is it
So,
somewhere?
Are we going?
So we're doing still the interview. The interview is on Monday, and that is at the Oakland Park Homeland Security. And then from there, they do the naturalization ceremony, which they give you a date. So on Monday, I'll be able to know when we'll be able to do the ceremony.
Oh, we're coming.
That's great.
We're going to be there.
I'm so
we're
thrilled
gonna
for
be
you.
there.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when you speak about your children, it just, I mean, I get it. You know, it's hard. I just moved across the county during COVID, and my daughter just started speaking to me. So I can't imagine leaving your homeland and leaving your culture. I mean, because I don't think people realize that most people, we don't want to leave our homelands. We love our culture. We love our people. But when you start thinking about like what the future looks like for your children and the opportunities, and they'll probably be super connected and go back and forth. Have you been able to travel back and forth?
So we haven't been back in 6 years.
Wow.
I'm fortunate that my family has come to visit us because it's all a big thing. You know, I'm going to America.
Yes.
But we haven't gone back. And honestly, I don't know if I want to, because over the 7 years, the country has gone down, and you know, it hurts me to know that what I grew up in
is no longer there.
No longer. And it's very difficult for my family to be able to.
But you
see
still
them.
have family there.
I still have family there.
Well,
yes.
you know what? Once you get those passports, and then you can make a decision, and then you know you might find one day you'll go back, and maybe things that look. I've lived in places that were pretty run down, and I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and it's incredible to see the renaissance and the refurbishment that happens in different communities. So, you know, I guess never say never. And
you know what? I can't say never because I never know what will happen eventually. But I think what's good or what's different about people that live in South Africa is that they all have one or other nationality that carries them through. So I am South African in the sense that I was born there, I was raised there, I went to school there. I feel like sometimes I'm not really educated, but I try to say I was educated there. But definitely my Italian roots from my parents were very, very prominent in my bringing up in the house. I learned all the cooking, all the products from my mom and dad.
So, and that brings us to Il Paesano, which is, how did you, come upon opening your own place? How did you, and again, was it never in doubt that you were going to do it in an Italian kind of style market?
So this is not my profession. And as you know, when you come to a new country, you make it work.
Yes.
And I found it really difficult when we did move here, knowing that I cooked and ate the Italian cuisine, going to the supermarket and finding most of the things weren't imported. It wasn't the genuine products from Italy. I found it really difficult to fit in. You go into the supermarkets in America and there's thousands, not one, but thousands of things that you can choose from, and you don't know that one.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I need to eat here, but I need to find my comfort food. And so that's how it basically started. We managed to come in here, and it was a store, and we brought in products, and then it was the coffee and the pastries, and then from there it was the sandwiches, and we realized that there was a gap in the market in terms of prepared food. So we know that people like prepared food, like to go home, don't have much time to cook. So we started off with our deli prepared items.
Yeah, it looks lovely. You got some lasagna in the case,
Yes.
and you got some like grab and go stuff, so working people can just heat it up. And
absolutely. And then from our client's request, it was basically, well, since you've made this, do you mind making a plate of pasta? So we started off small, and then eventually realized that there was a really huge demand for the proper, the authentic cuisine. And my Italian cuisine is more on the Italian side, being that it's not, the New York Italian,
Right?
Americanized.
This is the Italian.
It was the Italian. Yeah. So we don't have items like your chicken parm and Alfredo
we got more
sauce.
food coming out. Come on, lay it out there. That's it. It's okay. It's good.
Thank you.
We're not shy here on the Lunchbox. Look,
Yes.
and you've gone through the. This is an absolute feast, and we are so appreciative because we love to eat here on the Lunchbox. What do we have here? We've got
a grilled octopus on a bed of arugula with mixed vegetables.
Wow.
Here we have our baked savory pears.
Baked pears.
What they are
With gorgonzola cheese.
Yes.
Oh God.
Now, what part
smother
of
me in
Italy
cheese
is your
and just-
heritage from?
So my parents were both from, the family was both from Torino, which is northwest.
It's where they had the Olympics.
Correct.
Winter
And
games.
so that's where they from. But when the winters got cold, my family actually all moved to, my extended family in the sense of my aunts and my uncles, all moved to the island of Sardinia. So when I go visit Italy, I have a real good time because it's it's
The best of all the worlds.
the best of all the worlds. You have beautiful seas, and the food, the culture in an old cities. It's really special.
I love that because when you say Italian food, again, a lot of people think just American red sauce Italian. Italy has so many different regions with so many different specialties. It's just like America. You're not going to eat the same thing in the deep south as you are in the Maine and New England. Sardinia, I love because it's one of those places that's an island. A lot of people aren't even aware that it's part of Italy.
Yes.
And it has the distinction, I know these things from covering food, of having one of the highest rates of people live past the age of 100.
Yes,
and
indeed.
it's designated a zona blu, which is like a UN designation of having a lot of centenarians. And one of the things they have there that I love, and I think you're preparing for us, is that seafood cartoffel. It's like in a paper bag.
Correct.
We're gonna need some silverware, Luby. We're gonna need silverware. How am I gonna eat?
I'll get somebody to get that.
Oh, we'll get it.
As soon as somebody
you know what?
has a look
You don't
at
need
me.
silverware for the
sandwich.
Mayo sandwich
guy.
month. I'm
going
dig
right
in.
for the pears.
I'm
That's what
gonna let
for.
Nikki ask a question while I'm gonna eat sandwich number 37 now. And this is the
So would you say
Italia.
your cuisine is mainly from the region, like where your family's originally from, or a combination of where they live now and where they're from?
Absolutely. It's definitely a combination, also because you need to make some of the items that people enjoy here.
Yes.
And
that's how you bring them in.
The majority of Italian restaurants from the South, because that's who came here in the beginning, were the Sicilians, the people from Napoli.
Yeah.
Those are the people, and they they adapted their cuisine, which is very much, as Mike said, a tomato-based cuisine. And there we go, I said tomato instead of tomato. They have the very red cuisine, and that's what people like.
Right.
And I am in America, so I'm not inventing the wheel. And so some of the items are from there and other items from the north. This is definitely all of the fine items, the truffles, the cream sauces.
All northern.
Italy. And I've brought in a little bit of everything. Fortunately, my chef does do the Italian, like the sauces. So we are okay with that. We've got a good balance. And yeah, that's how it has to roll.
We're talking with Paula here. We're at Il Paesano Market and Restaurant on Oakland Park Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. We're here with Neki Mohan. Visit Lauderdale. Everyone under the sun, every flavor under the sun,
And I
every
feel like
dish under the sun.
we're
And
getting a tour of Italy via food, but we're also getting just a whole history and wonderful.
I love it. That's why I love
education,
these mom and pops, and we should all come out and support them. I mean, obviously, it's here in the summertime, and sometimes it gets a little bit slower when the snowbirds are gone. We've become much more of a year-round community, and that's why I encourage everybody who's here now to come check it out, because it's and again, you find some of these specialty products. I got to tell you, this Italia sandwich with the prosciutto di Parma, sometimes you get prosciutto that's like a little bit, I don't know, tough or stringy.
Amazing.
This is it's just melted in my mouth. And this bread, where do you get this from? Because that's absolutely gorgeous. It's got
the ciabatta bread is the only bread that we use for our sandwiches. It's a really good bread that we get, and I can't take this away from them. Gran Forno makes an amazing bread. It is, it's crunchier than your normal bread roll that you eat, but it definitely brings out the flavor of the Italian bread rolls.
So it's from Gran Forno.
Gran Forno, down on Las Olas.
Which is one of Fort Lauderdale's best. It always,
absolutely.
And their bread is great. So well done for choosing, the good purveyors. That's a key. If you can't make everything yourself, go get it from who does it the best.
Support another business.
Absolutely. And they are great to us. They have an excellent product. And, if you're going to have an excellent sandwich, if you're going to have the top range of food, you can't come short on certain things. Like our prosciutto di Parma is not local. We don't use any of the local cold cuts. Everything is imported. In fact, everything in the store is imported. We don't, not because I don't want to support the locals, but if you're going to have a traditional Italian, store, you got to use those products.
Yes.
And so we don't come short on the actual quality, in the sense that we have the traditional.
Do you have restaurants that shop here?
So yes, we do. In fact, there's one gentleman that's very well known in the community.
I have a feeling I know who you're gonna say.
And he'll come here on a Thursday night, and he'll be like, Paula, I'm in a fix, because we don't close the store per se, although we don't like people to shop while we have patrons eating. And he'll come in and he'll like, I've run out of pasta, can you please help us? And he clears my entire shelf of the pasta, which is fine, because the next day I can get it, but it helps him. And that's what community is about.
Nice.
I don't have issues with him coming in and clearing my shelf. So,
right. No, and again, it's that's what part of what makes the restaurant and hospitality community so special. That you do bail each other out sometimes.
Yeah, and that's such a compliment. The fact that he's like, please help me out. I want your food in my place.
We have two different restaurants that come and get saved here in the evenings. And one is, I think, Mike's favorite, which is Cafe Seville.
Oh, Joey.
Joey comes here often on a Friday night, and he's like, I've run out of bread. Please help me with some bread. And so we use the same Gran Forno for the bread, and I'll help him.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have a problem and I have to go across there and help him, and that's what community is about.
That's
I honestly believe.
A beautiful thing. Hey, and once we're talking about community, we got to talk about Dine Out Lauderdale and all over the community in Greater Fort Lauderdale.
We got to take a break too.
Yeah, we're taking the break. Mm-hmm. That's it. We're going to go talk about Dine Out Lauderdale real quick, about how all month long and all September, Dine Out Lauderdale is ongoing at some of the top restaurants around town.
Yep.
Where you get 3 and 4 course meals for just $45 or $35 or $45.
Uh-huh.
And it's a tremendous value. You get to sample maybe some of the higher end places that ordinarily people couldn't afford. And again, places like Evelyn's down on Fort Lauderdale Beach, Dune, places on Las Olas, like Casa Sanse, Planta Queen.
Yeah, it's basically an opportunity for you to go out and discover the fine dining in our community. But, also, too, if you're headed down to the beach on your way back, grab dinner for the next day here at Il Paesano.
Well, you can come to Il Paesano,
Il
and
Paesano.
at one point we'll get, I'm sure, more and more are signing up all the time to take part in Dine Out Lauderdale. And it's if you go to the website, visit lauderdale.com/deals, you can check out all the great places and menus that are taking part, and more are signing up every day. And again, you could also come in and check out new places like Il Paesano and say, hey, are you on Dine Out Lauderdale? And then we'll get Nikki and them together to kind of get something going. And it's going to be a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And it keeps growing and expanding. And I can't wait till once the Dine Out Lauderdale is over, then we're going to be getting into the high season and getting ready for the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, too. And I know that's going to be a real treat. So
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that. Go on again online, visit lauderdale.com/deals. Check out all the good offerings, and there's still all the spa specials, resorts, and whatnot. We'll be right back with Paula from Il Paesano in Fort Lauderdale after these words. For a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo here for Costas Greek Eatery and Pizzeria. If you want to take a trip to the Aegean without getting on a plane and no need for a passport, just go up to 1940 Northeast 49th Street in Pompano Beach, just west of Federal Highway, just a little bit north of Sample Road, and you will be transported to Greece along with a New York-style pizzeria. They do it both so well. They got Greek specialties like gyros and souvlaki and the grape leaves and the spinach pie, and also great New York thin, crisp New York-style Greek pizza with pepperoni. Don't miss that one. And of course, spinach and gorgonzola. Costa is a great guy. He'll smash a plate, say opa, and greet and treat you like family. Go to Costas. It's open every day for lunch and dinner. Tell him the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox. Nikki and I are just chowing down on sandwiches, and she had the pear. How is
the pear is amazing.
It's like a grilled pear. I'm gonna get in there and get one of those. Is it wrapped in any kind of
prosciutto?
Oh, prosciutto wrapped pear.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
So
it's amazing. But I've normally had that combination of something that's not cooked, not something that's cooked.
Oh well, I'm gonna go in there. Paula, come on back. We're not done with you yet.
I wanted to get you some plates.
Oh, we're good. Don't worry about us. We are used to having to throw a bunch of other things on the same plate, and it's absolutely fantastic. Everything I've eaten so far is great.
It's amazing. Here's my thing. Like, so most people saying you import everything. Why do the products here are not good enough for what you do? You know what I'm saying? What's the difference? And I don't mean that in a negative sense. I just mean it in a sense of what is the difference with the way they prepare the products in Italy to work into the cooking that we don't do here? Because I know different countries have different ways they make stuff.
So I think the most important thing is it's not that the products are bad here. I think the Italians that eat Italian food know those flavors, and I find that sometimes things here in America are overdone. So bread, I mean, you can taste that this bread has got 0 sugar in it. You have your sliced bread at Publix or Whole Food, or maybe not Whole Food, but Publix, you can taste the sugar in
It's like
those
dessert.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But that with everything, I mean, the tuna that you're having, not because I want to be a snob, but the Italian tuna is on a different level altogether. Firstly, it's not exactly. Yeah. Firstly, it's not shredded into such tiny little pieces that you can't actually taste the
comes in
pieces.
Chunks, right?
It comes in the whole fillet.
Right. And then
so when you
it
open it up, it's those pieces of tuna, and then it's up to you to decide whether you want it in tiny little chunks, or if you want to eat the whole, pieces in that. And then you also don't find some products like the anchovies.
I love that.
It's not something that you'll find on the shelf, and it's not something that's part of the cuisine. it's seldom that you find people that'll put anchovies in their food. In fact, a lot of people are like, oh, anchovies, you know.
They don't know what they're talking about.
So it's one of those things. And
those little fishies are packed with protein and flavor and salt. And if you use it sparingly,
yes,
it doesn't have to make anything too salty.
Absolutely.
And if you're making a Caesar salad that does not contain anchovies in it or in the paste,
yes,
then you're not making a Caesar salad.
Absolutely. And the Italians, you know, I mean, we eat the anchovies as an appetizer, just anchovies, but most of the times it's in one of, as Mike said, one of the sauces or on a pizza. It's not an entire container of anchovies. And then, you know, you get onto the pasta, and the pasta is a different level altogether as well. The flours that they use, the dyes that they use, the fact that it's Gragnano as opposed to a normal wheat.
The thing that gets me about Italy is, like you said, it's not like the products here are not good. It's just it's this tradition and the quality control where you have the DOCG, was it the Domination Originality Control? You know, it's
Correct.
like where everything has to be certified a certain way in order to be labeled. You know, the tomatoes from what is it? The San Marzano tomatoes have to be a certain way. The Chianti, you know, the wines from Tuscany have to be a certain way. The Grana Padano, the cheeses have to be a certain thing.
I spent a week in Italy. I didn't gain a pound, and I ate a lot.
So I think also the other thing is that the Italians and many of the nations in Europe are passionate about their food. They are proud of what they supply.
Right.
And one of the examples is Gentile. Gentile pasta is from Naples, and it's a Gragnano pasta. And it's a family-run business that is proud of what they do. They don't export 100 million packets of pasta.
It's a different mentality. It's not, let's expand and make 100 different factories so we could conquer the world. It's like, we're happy with our one and we want it to be perfect, and everybody who has this is so happy. And then there's like, scarcity brings value, because the less, you know, the more rare it is. And that's why, I mean, I should have been born Italian, because I love Italian food.
We'll accept you into the community.
Honorary Italian. I talk with my hands. I eat a lot. It's all good. How's the octopus there?
Amazing.
Neki? Yeah.
You know, it doesn't taste like what I traditionally think octopus tastes like.
Well,
I think it all depends on how you do it. Again,
it doesn't taste rubbery. Like when I think calamari or I think octopus, I think rubbery. This actually tastes pretty decadent.
And I gotta sing the praises of the prosciutto wrap pear, because the prosciutto is like crispy, like bacon, and that little gorgonzola cream sauce. Like, I don't know, some people like turn their noses up and say, "Oh, blue cheese, it's too strong." No, this stuff, when you do it the right way with the right ingredients and get the little sweetness of the pear, oh, bellissimo.
I'm passing it over to our social media team so they can try it.
So
you have to try it. There's forks and knives over there. Yeah.
So I think what gets overdone in the Italian cuisine, sometimes people are like, oh, you know, the pasta is going to make me fat. And it's not about the pasta. It's about what you put on the outside of the pasta. In fact, most of the people that come back from Italy, as you said, they haven't put on a pound. And that's because the products, exactly. It's not an overindulgence. It's a simple cuisine with the flavors.
Right. It's not the never-ending pasta bowl. It's the first course out of a four-course meal, and it's maybe 2 ounces of pasta that you blend with a nice sauce.
Correct.
And then you have your second plate, which is usually, you know, the fish, and then maybe a little bit of meat with some grilled vegetables.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the shock, though, when most Americans go to Europe or when most Europeans come here, are the portion sizes.
Yes. So I don't like. I mean, I make a joke at some people when they come into the restaurant and the first impression of what they see on their plate is like, that's a little bit of food, and I'm like, finish the food and tell me how you feel after you finished. And 9 times out of 10, someone will say to me, you know what? It was just enough that if I have one more bite, I'm going to be stuffed.
Yes.
And I think that I also make a joke. I say to you know what? I'd like you to eat for today and not take it home for tomorrow and the next day and make it die in your refrigerator.
Right.
So it's one of those
leftovers.
things
It's a way of life in this country. What are you talking about?
And honestly, nobody should be taking pasta home.
Right.
It should never be heated twice. it's basically killing it, you know.
Okay.
It's like basically you put them in the coffin and now you're killing them again because pasta should never.
But what if I
ever
never
be-
reheat it? What if I just eat it cold
No,
from the
no,
fridge
no,
the
no,
next
no,
morning?
no, please, I'd rather not hear that. And
Okay,
please don't tell me.
Got the pasta police is going
No,
to be
She's
writing
never
me a
coming to your
fine.
house. She's
Please don't
never
tell
coming
me.
to your house.
I have a question because these pasta cheese wheels have become really popular. How did you first start doing it? And is it just
When
one of
you,
those?
you see a picture, what is a pasta cheese wheel?
You don't know the pasta cheese wheel?
No,
Can
I
you
don't.
explain it to
Okay,
Neki, Paola?
so basically, back in Italy, how it's done is they take a tiny little Parmigiano, which unfortunately is almost impossible to find here. So what happens is that people will use Pecorino, which is really not the same thing. So the big Parmigiano wheel, we slice off the top. We're fortunate that in the store I can sell the pieces to grate. We also, cut up the chunks and we sell it on our shelf. So that helps a bit. Now, a cheese wheel can set you back now with the prices going up, can set you back between 1,900 and 2,200, depending on the weight of it.
But you can
depending
use
on the,
it over the course of time.
So what we are able to do and why it's successful in the sense is that we're able to use the cheese wheel for the pasta. We use it 3 times max. It's a bit of a waste in the sense from the first to the second time because we've got to actually take off an entire layer, which is about 1 inch deep, and throw that out. That you cannot reuse.
You can't give it to the dog or yourself or something.
Why would you give your dog cheese?
Well, I mean,
I don't know. I don't have dogs.
That's you then,
when I
yeah,
say
you wouldn't
dog,
do that.
I mean me. I mean, like,
So
Yeah, call Mike.
I like to say that I like to keep the shop clean. So we take it off. The rest of it, we grate the stuff that we don't use.
Right.
We can sell chunks of it. The first initial part that we take out, which is exactly what you're eating.
Oh, and that's
from the wheel that it's a 36-month aged Parmigiano. So
Parmigiano Reggiano.
Parmigiano Reggiano, the real deal.
Mm.
And when you can actually taste that it's softer than what you would really normally taste. And the only reason is that it's in the center. So it's butter soft. And we hollow it out, getting back to what I was saying. We hollow it out. And then financially speaking, we have to keep the restaurant going. So we have a function. We do not do it tableside because a lot of restaurants that have done it tableside, I'm not saying that that's the reason, but it's financially not viable.
Right. Unless you have deep pockets and there's a lost leader.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, serving a pasta on, firstly, to move it around the restaurant is almost impossible because it is really
So
big.
you do the specialty
and
nights.
we do the specialty nights.
Is it twice a month during season?
So we do it twice a month. It also, it expands the amount of people coming in now, and with our social media, it's helped a lot when it's the quieter months. So we take out the middle, we fire it up, we switch it on, put it on fire so that it melts the actual coating of the cheese. Once we've melted it, we then take the pasta, whatever sauce we have chosen for that function. We do various ones. This coming up one is in a porcini mushroom and cream sauce with truffle in it. And then the chef will pour it into that. That melted cheese then coats the pasta, which we serve.
Amazing.
And those functions, we've now made pasta eat all you can. There's very few people that can eat 3 or 4 bowls.
He'll try.
But they really enjoy.
He will try.
Everybody that comes here really enjoy it. It's a fun evening. We have a set menu with appetizers, then the pasta and a dessert. And it's a fun way of getting the community together.
Yeah.
It's a really awesome dinner. And that's what we do.
That's amazing.
Hey,
Make sure they get that picture.
Okay. Yes.
Too
We're going to
much,
get
too
pictures of
much.
everything.
Yes.
I think more food is coming. We're going to take another break. And we'll keep on eating and keep on chatting. It's really quite lovely. Thank you so much, Paula.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for coming here.
Yeah, no, and we'll be back after these words on the Lunchbox. Come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial. serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. Then there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. From our friends at Visit Lauderdale and Lauderdeals, don't miss Dine Out Lauderdale during August and September in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Dozens of top restaurants are offering amazing 3 and 4 course meals starting at just $35. See all the Dine Out Lauderdale menus from more than 50 participating restaurants online at visitlauderdale.com/deals. More taste sensations are being added daily, so plan your culinary adventure to Greater Fort Lauderdale and get your taste of the good life for less. Dig in now at visitlauderdale.com/deals. Pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
Back.
We are back.
Yes, the Visit Lauderdale edition of Every Dish Under the Sun here on the Lunchbox.
Neki, I gotta congratulate you. Well, first of all, you were traveling this week. You went to Nashville. You had a lot of food there. You were wined and dined when you go to these trade shows and events. And here you are. You brought your appetite, and we're all working our way through. Paula,
this is amazing.
Virgilio
well, I think it is insulting if you come to someone's table and you don't partake of the food.
You always say yes.
Yes.
Always try everything once.
Yeah, I'm a Caribbean girl, and in our community, we really respect that someone put some love into the food.
And even if you don't love it, you like to take one bite and you kind of go up to the side with the napkin.
I haven't loved yet.
But here, there is no need to do the side napkin.
No,
move.
I may not leave. I may be asleep in this chair, and they may be calling security.
I might curl up in that pasta wheel, the cheese wheel.
Yeah.
And just
they may be calling Fort Lauderdale police to have me removed because I fell asleep.
Me and just shave some truffles on top of me, and I'll just curl up.
I appreciate the authenticity. I appreciate the love. Italians really do love the food. And when you go to Italy, I have several friends that have done farm stays where they stay on the farm where the stuff, and then the parents are cooking,
the hills
forget
of
about
Tuscany. You could stay in the vineyards. You can stay. I stayed in an old castle once when I was on my honeymoon. It was like from the 8th century.
Was it George Clooney's house?
I don't know. It wasn't in Lake Como. This was in the middle of oh wow! Here we've got pasta. It's like the purses, right? This is the. Oh, you could put the headset back on. We could tell the whole audience what we got. Oh, she's getting more.
She's getting more
she's
food.
getting more.
Leave
Well,
the
these
woman
are the
alone. She's getting
purses.
food.
It's got some mushrooms in the middle. I don't know if those are cremini mushrooms. She'll tell us what we're at. But I wanted to congratulate you, Nikki, because this is like the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Of what hopefully will be many seasons of the Visit Lauderdale. Everyone
well, I
under
just,
the
you know,
sun
I mean,
dish.
the intention behind this Thursday segment is, you know, we do have our restaurants or fine dining that do dine at Lauderdale's, and we have given
big
them
boys,
we've showcased them.
And I went to Timpano last
Yeah.
night. The new Timpano is opening on Los Olas. It looks spectacular.
But
in
for
there.
these restaurants, which are like mom and pop owned, and that
oh my
probably
gosh.
wouldn't be something
at
they
that.
do,
Look
we
at
want to
that.
highlight the multiculturalism of Broward County
You gotta
and
see
the
this. Look at this
multiculturalism of
homemade-
South
it's
like,
like-
because we have people from everywhere.
It's like a little burrata ball in the middle of this, like
He's having a
seedy
foodgasm, what we
oh
call
my
a foodgasm.
God. I can't believe
But
this.
this is not only my opportunity to eat free lunch every Thursday, but it's a real opportunity to showcase the diversity and the people who love Broward County, call it home, and to let our residents know on your Let's Eat South Florida page places and the stories behind these restaurants. No one starts a restaurant because they want an easy life. They do it for love. It's a lot of work that goes into this.
To please others. They do it out of
For
passion,
love.
as we see with Virgilio and Paula. I mean, they're here all the time, and they're putting every ounce of their being. And again, the American dream. They come here, they open the shop, they make great food. They're showing off their whole diversity of their own backgrounds. With the Portuguese and the South African, they have South African nights, South African wines. This blend is delicious. It's got Merlot, it's got Cabernet, it's got what's it called? The Petit Verdot.
And when we celebrate people like Virgilio and Paola, you know, it's one of these things where they make our community better. They make our children
make us richer. I mean, I don't understand people who are opposed to diversity, because we all come from somewhere else, except if you're part of the
my whole thing is
Indian
that's all
tribe or
talk
Native
because
American.
it's not changing, and our community has evolved and it's beautiful.
Well, look at that. A little tomato popped out.
Did my
of there.
tomato pop
That's-
out?
that's
I'm going back for it.
Well, we got to get that. We got to get that burrata going. So anyway, the first season we started in May, back when we didn't even have the video going, and that was with our friend Hui at
friend
Kaizen. We might have to go back to Kaizen to show the pretty plates.
We've eaten Laotian, Jamaican, Haitian.
We did. Oh wow, and Bahamian. Oh my God, there's the cartoccio. Look at this. This is an unbelievable feast. And she says she has dessert for us too, which is just insanity.
Yeah.
And the hits keep on
so,
coming.
But I'm not allowed to take any of this home and reheat it. I have to eat all of this here. Well, you guys are going to have to come help us eat, okay?
She'll make exceptions. Look at this. We have this huge table.
Allowed.
Things are
You're not
falling
allowed
off
to be
the
full.
table.
She will not let us take it home or reheat it, so we have to eat it.
This is quite the spread, Paula. And Virgilio, grazie mille grazie. Unbelievable spread.
Pakeri is a very, very fat macaroni.
Pull up the mic to your face. There we go. Good. We got it.
So pakeri is a very, very fat, short macaroni.
Oh, yeah.
It has no lines on it. And this specific one, as I was speaking before about it, and that's the Gentile pasta. So it holds the temperature right. It doesn't overcook. And then it's got the burrata cheese on it, which is the soft scented mozzarella.
Yeah.
And this one's imported as well. And it's in a cherry tomato sauce.
I think you could beat Bobby Flay.
I
mean, I really do.
And what's the name of this macaroni again? It's the
pakeri.
Pakeri.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to take shape in pasta form, I'd be pakeri. I am kind of a short, stubby macaroni, and you could just also smother me in burrata and some of these beautiful.
Do people eat
grape
this with
tomatoes.
their hands?
Try
Sometimes.
not to. You can try, but I wouldn't.
It'll
probably get all over your beautiful shirt.
Oh my!
And then
I've always got it in my belly.
The fiocchetti are little pockets of pasta with truffle cheese, which is moliterno tartufo. It's a sheep truffle cheese. The sheep cheeses, mainly come from Sardinia, because they have some awesome sheep there that also live till they're 90. And that's in a blended porcini mushroom and truffle sauce. And our porcini mushrooms, we use the fresh porcini, although they are frozen, they are the whole porcini mushroom. We don't use the dried mushroom. And then I've brought out the cartoccio, which is usually served the aluminum foil, which we close out and finish off in the oven. And that has all the seafood in it. And it's over linguine. Now, the linguine pasta is the right pasta to have with the seafood. And that's another thing that's, the Italians are a bit of snobs about, is which pasta goes with which kind of sauce.
Now, the linguine is a dried product. You don't make that fresh in-house?
Yes,
Right.
it's a dry product. And the other reason we use the dry product is because of the shells, the homemade pasta all breaks.
Mhm.
It's a lot more delicate than the dried pasta.
I happen to agree with you. I think there is a time and a place for the dried pastas, especially the premium ones that are coming from Italy and from the Naples area with the quality control. And yeah, it holds up to some of those sturdier sauces in the shells without breaking and being too delicate or getting overcooked. And again, the key, all this stuff is beautiful because it's nice and al dente. Yeah, just kudos to you. I can't believe she says she's going to bring dessert too.
Oh,
I don't
my
know
goodness.
if that's necessary. That is overkill to the max, but that's okay. That's our middle name.
So
sometimes.
you can't leave a good meal without dessert. That's sacrilege.
Oh man, that's a woman and a restaurateur after my own heart. This is just a tremendous deal.
I'm just
and-
glad I do the show only once a week. I don't know how you do this every day.
Well, that's why we're going to take a little breather in September. We're going to retool and get ready for the fall season, which is going to be, obviously great stuff. But we urge everybody who's out there, who's tuning in on Let's Eat South Florida. And on Let's Eat South Florida, cheese wheels have become a big thing. The pasta cheese wheels, everybody always asking, where can I find one?
Yeah,
You can
plus
find
it's
one-
perfect for Instagram too.
You can find one right here at Il Paesano Market when they have their specialty dinners. And there's got one coming up next Wednesday, right? August
Correct.
31st.
Correct.
If people want to sign up for that, how
Ooh.
do they go about doing that?
So they can give us a ring. I prefer people to call me than the applications because I'm a bit of a dinosaur when it comes to applications. So they can call the restaurant and they can make a reservation. And each dinner is a different price because it all depends on what we put on the sauce. Some are less expensive than others purely because when you use a truffle, it is more expensive. And it's pretty much phone us and then we take your email address if we are fully booked that evening. And then whenever we send out the invitation, then you'll be informed via the email.
So if somebody wants to sign up, there's still space for next Wednesday's pasta cheese wheel night.
Next Wednesday is a limited amount of space because people get ahead of this straight away. But we do have some spaces available.
What's the phone number if they want to get in and could dial in right after the show is over, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's 954-651-8652. And that comes straight through to me. If not at the store, it's 954-396-1700.
That's
How
an
many
easy
people? How many people can you accommodate?
So the problem is that's it. The space is limited,
Uh-huh.
and we take 30 people.
Wow. But that's
Excellent.
enough,
And I've
shared
already-
dining experience.
I've nailed down 2 for me and a +1.
Oh,
And I can't wait to
you're bringing
take
your
part.
daughter. I know you
Very
are.
Possibly, yes. And it's going to be a really fun evening. Paula, Virgilio, thank you so
Oh my
much.
goodness,
We're
thank you
out
for
of
having
time,
us.
but I urge everybody, again, the address
We're not
again,
out of food.
here is 2645 East Oakland Park Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, east of Federal Highway, before you get to the beach in Bayview. Come on in, say hi, and again, food to go, sandwiches, pastas, all kinds of imported specialty products, and great vino. Il Paesano, thank you so much. Thanks, Neki Mohan. We'll be talking to you throughout the month of September.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
if September was sandwich month, I'm sorry, August was sandwich month. September is going to be Dine Out Lauderdale month. I'm going to try to hit as many Dine Out Lauderdale
Let's do it.
spots as possible and review them on the show with you on Thursdays.
All right, sounds good. I'll call in.
For this time, until next time, tune in tomorrow. We'll be back with Jeff Tifo DeForest, Mike Luby Lubitz. For all the people here at Il Paesano, Paola, Virgilio, and Neki Mohan, it's Mike Mayo saying thanks for tuning in. And remember to enjoy every sandwich at every feast.
Thank you.